Hey YouTube, I'm Ryan.
And I'm Evan.
And we're Tacoma Games. This is the third round of our store championship, and this time we were professional enough to actually do rock placement. Look at us. We look like we know what we're doing.
Almost.
Almost. Not quite.
No. Lord, no.
So this is a long match. Y'all are going to have to buckle up. I cut this down as much as I can, and I still think we're looking at 48 minutes. We got Corwin on the left, Tom on the right. I'm just going to read them down. Corwin brought Fen Rao with Atani Auto Thrusters and Title, Asajj Ventress with Mindlink and Lats Razzie, Contracted Scout, Mindlink, Intelligence Agent, Rig Cargo Chute, pretty standard Paratani. Tom's got Dengar, you've seen him before, Adaptability, K4, Unhinged, Rigged, Cargo Chute, and Title, and then 2 TLT Unhinged Astromech Syndicate Thugs. What do you think about these two, Evan?
Well, we watched Tom earlier, and he can definitely fly. But I don't know if the TLTs are going to do much work for him here, and I don't think Dengar can outshoot all of the other list.
No, not without something like expertise, so that Dengar can have modification on both shots. That would be really crucial here.
Yes.
This entire match is going to be pretty much decided on how Tom can set up Dengar's arc, really.
Yes. Yes.
So, Corwin, I would go so far as to call him something of a local X-Wing celebrity. He's very well known at the other shops. He flies all over the place, and he's just really good.
Yes, Corwin, he is a pleasure to watch flying. He does know what he is doing very well. Makes great judgments. Definitely a good player and a very good person to fly against.
Yes. He knows this list like the back of his hand at this point.
Oh, it's just going to be, it really is going to depend on how much damage those Syndicate Thugs can sneak through with their TLTs.
Yeah. And again, on Dengar's arc, he's
yes.
Tom's got an uphill battle. Paratani is a ruthlessly efficient list.
Yes.
One of the reasons I don't particularly like flying against it is that it's essentially very defensive. Like, the only real punch in the list is Fen Rao, and the Contracted Scout is just a sack full of hit points that hands out Mindlink tokens.
Mindlink tokens, yes.
Well, yeah, it's like the most ruthless form of action efficiency left in the game right now, since Asajj wedged out Push the Limit.
Yep.
But essentially, Paratani's like a big grindstone. Like, Fen Rao will occasionally sneak in some pretty big hits, but the list it's there to wear you down. Kind of the same way a 4 TLT list is, except just significantly tougher and more efficient.
More efficient, just, and more damaging, potentially.
Potentially. A lot of people don't do particularly well with Paratani because, well, for the same reasons most people don't normally do with Fen Rao. And that's it. He's extremely fragile unless you fly him very, very well.
Yeah. A lot of people like to look at his ability and, look at fearlessness and everything and fly him straight at someone. And I won't say it doesn't always, but usually doesn't turn out particularly well.
Barrel roll's not going to fit. My guess he takes a focus.
Yeah. Oh, going for the target lock.
Sure is. Interesting. And yes, those are fancy target locks. I believe he got them from regionals. And if you were high enough into regionals to get target locks, well, that's Corwin. He's really good. Here comes the focuses from Asajj. And a 2-bank as Fen Rao starts weaseling his way in towards the action.
Yep. like you said, still flying very defensively with most of the list. Seemed like he would have preferred to have no shooting going on this round if he could have avoided it.
Yes. Yeah, and he's sort of offering up the contracted scout as something of a sacrificial lamb, because ultimately, I mean, the thing's 28 points. He really doesn't care about it. It's only 2 attack dice.
Mm-hmm.
It's really not a big deal if it goes. Here comes Dengar finally at PS10. Which at PS10's Dengar's got to be just a nightmare for Whisper lists.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Not that we see too much of them anymore. We do have a Whisper video coming up in a couple of rounds, I think.
Yeah. They make appearances occasionally with Cheernew in them.
So this part's hilarious. They're trying to argue over whether or not that's range 3 or not. I get involved, and they both got their fingers on their ships, and I'm trying to get a template in between them, and Corwin takes his thumb off his ship just in time for me to test if there's wiggle, and have bumped his scout all over the place. I was going to keep it in because it was hilarious, but again, this video is just punishingly long as is. So Dengar barrel rolls. Not sure if this is the best move to throw three naked dice at a scout. I'm not sure if it's worth it.
I mean...
Well, I guess he'll get to throw... Well, maybe not 3 naked dice at a scout twice, because if Corwin's
the scout
smart...
will shoot the Y.
Yeah, and Corwin is smart. He will shoot the Y. So that's nothing from Dengar.
And then the scout.
Scout's going to shoot next, and he wants... Yep. Well, actually, he knows he's in range 3 of that Y-wing. He got the target lock.
I think they are checking to see if it is obstructed.
Ah, that makes a lot more sense. Let's go with that. Hit crit from the scout.
Looks like they went with obstructed and...
3 of aids. Nice.
Every once in a while you get a very dodgy Y-wing.
Yeah. Yeah, well, but I mean, it needs situations like this for that to happen.
Yes.
First TLT shot. Spend the focus for 2.
3 dice coming back.
Corwin will spend his focus for 2. Nothing. So a lot of people have never tried to make an X-Wing Let's Play. Let's Play?
Mm-hmm.
Battle. I think we call them battle reports because the mini wargaming community takes itself too seriously.
Or after
it is a
action
Let's Play,
reports.
though, kind of. Yeah. After action reports. Gosh, that's even more serious. That's like, that's what. No, seriously. When you're in the army, you do those. Anyway, oh gosh, look at Corwin's expert marking here. So he marks the left side. First Y-wing goes through. Doesn't miss a beat. And as soon as he's getting ready to move that Y-wing, he puts Dengar back. There it goes. Swaps his marker to the other corner and gets Dengar back out of the way. This guy's been doing a lot of competitive X-Wing.
Yep.
Anyway, on the subject of making these videos, so the overlay you see now with Tom and Corwin in their lists, and that's one overlay. Then there's the dice that come up, and each side's dice, attacker on the left, defender on the right, or whatever, each of those is its own overlay. There are around 150 overlays total to make this video happen. It was hours of work. So if you're thinking about doing these videos, my best advice is don't. It's not worth it. Do literally anything else with your life. I hate everything about doing these.
Oh, but they are very important.
They are important, and people like seeing them. And I'm being melodramatic, obviously, but yeah, just a lot of work.
Stuff. Switching out Saj for the scout.
Yep. Corwin's, and you'll see as this match progresses, Corwin's very good at sort of hit and run tactics. So they haven't done any damage to the scout yet, but if you had done a point of damage to the scout or whatever, a lot of players will fixate on a ship that they've done a couple points of damage to, and Corwin would just drag that ship back through the rest of his list.
Yeah.
And if you're fixated on that ship, you're done, you know?
Yep.
Like, you're just going to let Fenrau and Asajj tear you up.
Yeah.
Yeah, just rough. Corwin's considering Fenrau's action. Just opts for another focus.
Dengar at 10 as well. That does. You like to see Fenrau be the last person to move. But
yeah. It looks like he's just barely going to tap the corner of his Y-wing. I mean, it was going to be a bump regardless, but probably doesn't get nearly as much ground as he would have liked to.
Yes.
Also has no arc. I mean, he's got a turret, but he's not going to get to shoot back is the important part.
He does get to K4 onto Asajj.
First attack of the round. Hit into focus. Going to use the target lock. 2. Also 2.
Is he shooting at the Y-wing first? Looks like.
Yeah. Looks like Asajj and the Scout are both going to be picking on that one Y-wing. There has been no damage done in this whole match so far. Wow. There were some pretty crazy evade rolls last game, though. Oh! Ouch. 3 from Asajj.
And 3 from the Y.
Hilariously, the little Y-wing that could.
That is twice now that the Y-wing has rolled 3 evades.
Yes. Well, I mean, that one took a little bit of modification, but still, that's really impressive. Get that guy a medal. Focus for 2.
Ah.
There we
only
go.
Lasts so long.
Especially with green dice. Green dice are particularly fickle. Is Tom deliberating on his TLTs? Is he going to keep going for the Scout, or is he going to start throwing fire into Asajj?
Yeah, but it's hard either way. And,
it is.
The other TLT hasn't gotten into the action yet, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, and that other TLT is going to be, I believe it's out of range this round as well.
Yes.
There's 2. Focus for 2. And yeah, it must be Asajj, because it's through the rock. And that's the only reason she's got 3 dice right now.
And that's 1 hit through.
Total of 3 points of damage done. Three hard around the rock. Interesting. Pulling him back. I'm not sure if he's pulling him back so much as just trying to get him the heck out of Dengar's way.
Maybe. Yeah. Dengar's the guy you want up there, and the TLT will take shots anywhere he wants to.
Yeah. Well, and Asajj is coming in at this point, so it's probably safe to assume the TLTs will have shots. Gonna go over a rock. No action, and here comes the dice roll. Ouch. 1 shield. That rock is now responsible for 1/4 of the damage done in this game.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll get some big shootings in here soon, but like you said, both of these lists are really looking to just slowly wear you down. Not necessarily throwing the biggest hits. Finn wants to on occasion, but not necessary.
Yeah, one heavy hitter per list, and the other two lists are just sacks of hit points designed to just sort of wear you down. Fenn Rau too hard, a little risky, or sorry, 3 hard, a little risky, but he can make it. I said Corwin definitely knows what he's doing. He's got a good eye for all this stuff. Corwin sizing up the board, trying to decide on an action. Going for the target lock on the Y, it looks like.
Yeah, looks like he might.
Actually, I couldn't quite tell if that was in range or not.
I guess they decide it's not in range because he's not laying the target lock down.
Well, yeah, definitely.
The option is to boost forward, perhaps, is what he's thinking of.
Yeah, he's probably debating between a boost or another focus token.
Does depend on where Dengar is going.
Opts for a target lock on Dengar.
There's a reasonable call. Dengar's probably going to end up in front of him, so...
Yeah. Well, I mean, Dengar's probably just barely in range 3 in arc now. And so, I mean, he can't go backwards.
Nope.
Now, this is a very interesting move. He's got K4 security droid, but opts for the 4 straight. Probably worried about the rock, but with a 3 straight, he'd have gotten a free target lock, and gosh, I just don't... I don't think this was the best move for Tom right now.
3 might have left him at range 1 of Asajj, but... yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, he doesn't have much arc now. He's got arc on the Scout. The Scout's probably at range 3. In fact, it's probably at range 3, maybe through a rock. It's gonna be a rough fight without something like expertise or fire control system. Something for mods on both, which Dengar can't even take a fire control system. Don't even know why I mentioned it, but you get the idea.
Yeah, it sucks. You almost think about dividing your fire here. And, you'll take the pot shot on the Scout when it shoots you, and you'll shoot your first round at Fenn Rau.
Yeah.
Looks like what he's doing.
Asajj puts a stress on to Dengar. And yeah, looks like he's lining up a range 2 shot onto Fenn Rau.
Well, it's about as good as it can be. The only thing that would be better is if he was facing him to shoot Fenn Rau back.
Yeah, that would definitely be ideal. Youch.
Just back out. Same.
Well, 1, and, with auto thrusters, of course, Fenn Rau would have been fine from that. Pretty much, I guess Corwin would have needed to roll all eyeballs. Oh no, he's got a focus token.
Nope.
There was no way Fenn Rau was going to take damage from that.
Yeah.
Fenn Rau shooting back at Dengar. Hit crit. Thinking about it, he will spend the focus. One evade. 2 shields down for Dengar. Asajj just barely out of range 1. Gonna shoot at Dengar. Spend a focus for 2. 1 more shield. Nope, 2 more shields, sorry.
Yeah, those focuses panning out.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's exactly what this list does.
Yep.
Deliberating about the scout right now. Looks like it's going to be a range 3 shot at Dengar.
Unobstructed.
Good for Corwin, bad for Tom. And we'll spend the focus for 2. I don't even have the right number of dice there. 150 overlays. Can't expect me to get all of them right.
Nope.
Dengar shooting back for 2.
2. And 2. Ouch. Ouch.
Dengar's already half points, half dead, and he just has not put out the volume of fire that he needs to make this match work.
Looks like he's going to be stuck shooting Asajj.
Yep, and Asajj still has a evade token to spend. Two. Nothing. 1 shield down for Asajj.
2 again.
2 evades.
Ooh.
Second Y-wing. This one's definitely obstructed? Question mark. Nothing. 2.
A little bit better. And the evade.
Oh, well, that's interesting. Next round, Y-wings coming back around. Guess this way's the safer direction to travel, because the other way, one of them would have been cutting it close to the edge of the board with a 3 hard.
Yeah. And if Asajj turns in to keep following after Dengar, then they're up behind her and they're not, in a good position that way.
Yeah, probably the right move. Scouts coming back in. Not quickly, though. Yeah, I think at the end of this round, looks like Corwin's trying to minimize shots the Y-wings have on him while maximizing the shots his side's going to have on Dengar.
Because once Dengar's gone, it's just about open hunting for Asajj and Fenrau.
Oh yeah. And if Fenrau gets in range 1 of a Y-wing, he will delete that Y-wing.
Yes.
That is a focus and an evade on Asajj. We need a better lighting rig.
Yeah, I believe that is one of the things we are working on.
Yeah, right now this is just harsh fluorescent lighting. It's certainly not the best conditions to record an X-Wing match, but we're doing what we can with what we got.
I'm very interested to see where Dengar is going, because
second focus for Fenrau. Dengar, 2 hard and a bump. Corwin's already breaking out the railroad tracks. Like I said, the guy is a professional. He's really good at X-Wing, and all this stuff just sort of flows with him. This bump will help him keep alive, because Fenrau can't shoot at him, but with the Scout and Asajj, and only 4 hull left on Dengar with no return fire shots.
Yeah.
It's not looking pretty.
Yeah, and he'd be hard-pressed to do enough to Asajj at the moment to really hurt her, even with all the TLTs.
Yeah, just out of range 1. At this point, he'd need 3 hits from Dengar and all the TLT shots, all of them to go through unimpeded.
Yes.
And that's the only way he's going to get Asajj down this round. Probably not going to happen. Just 2 evade dice. There's the free stress from Asajj. Checking, it is range 2.
Oh, man.
He does have a target lock, but... Oh, 3 hits. And she spends the evade token and Dengar stress for 3 evade results.
Man, she's so hard to kill.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is. Looks like Asajj is shooting back. This list stands in pretty stark list to Ben's list from last round. Ben's list is a heavy-hitting, showstopper, crowd pleaser kind of list that just dives in there and does really fancy, showy stuff. But Paratani's, it's like I said, it just grinds you down. It's kind of like a slow, rough process punctuated by Fenrau occasionally slugging through 5. It's a very kind of methodical, reliable... It's the AK-47
yes.
of X-Wing
which you
lists.
can see in the duration of this round versus the previous round.
Yeah, I don't know why he's measuring for shots at Fenrau. Shooting at Fenrau with a TLT through a rock seems like a fruitless endeavor to me.
Yes.
But here's the first TLT at Asajj with the focus. 3 hits. Nothing Asajj can do about that. 1.
Ah. So 1 goes through.
And sometimes that happens.
And the last one.
Spend the focus for 3. Nothing Asajj can do about that one either.
Nope.
4 hull on Asajj. 2 hull on Dengar.
Whole lot of other things still flying around at full health.
Or virtually full. I said a couple of Y-Wings are damaged, but not even scratching paint yet.
Nope.
Tom's had some really rough luck this game with his dice rolls, but he seemed like a fun guy to play X-Wing with. He was having some bad rolls, and he was just kind of laughing it off and having a good time.
Yeah, both times he was back here, we saw that. I found it very funny the first time back here recording with him, where he had to make mention of the fact that he does have evades on his green dice.
Yes,
they do exist, so
they are there, and they've been coming out strong this match.
Yes,
actually,
yeah, it's much better.
So we know they're there now.
Yes, it's the other way around though. This match, his red ones have all disappeared, and
yeah, all of his hits are gone. Contractor checkout coming up, being the focus factory we expect it to be, and Asajj piling in right behind Dengar. Yeah, Corwin knows what's going on. That's gonna be a bump. But with the free focus token from the scout, Asajj doesn't care. I just realized he has 3 fancy target locks.
Yes.
From regionals.
Well, it's 1, 2, and 3. So.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, I want to say they only gave out 4, and they were all after the cut. So, like, for each win you got after the cut, you got one. That's really impressive. If I was better at making videos, I would have looked this up ahead of time and told you how he did it. Regionals. But I'm not, so I didn't. And here we are now.
And here we are.
Fenrau barely squeaking by Dengar. Does fit. Takes another focus. Risky play by Tom. Goes for the hard sloop, the red sloop. I mean, the white one would put him on a rock. So Dengar's not going to get an action at this round. He knows Dengar's on the way out. This is just him trying to throw 2 sets of 4 naked dice at Fenrau.
Yep.
Or 1 at Asajj and 1 at Fen. It's just a desperation move to try to use Dengar's pilot ability and make the most of it before he goes. First attack of the round, here comes Dengar. I believe he's shooting at Fenrau. Ouch. Just 2. And yeah, 3 results from the, one of them provided by the title. That wasn't going to happen. Fenrau shooting back at Dengar.
Yes. Excellent. That's typical Fenrau.
Yep, Fenrau range 1. Yeah, there's nothing Dengar could have done about that.
Nope.
He's done. He will get to shoot back.
Yes.
Tom's got a lot of cards to deal. And the crit, which doesn't matter. Looks like it was a direct hit, though, which is just insult to injury at this point. It's overkilled by, what, 3-4 points of damage?
Yep.
2 crits, nothing else.
Easy.
And there we go. Easy.
So Corwin, second in Swiss, first overall in the Vancouver Regionals.
Oh, wow, really?
Yes, with this list.
That is extremely impressive. Like I said, something of a local X-Wing celebrity. The guy's really good at X-Wing. Looks like we're getting TLTs at Asajj, because Asajj no longer has a shot, and neither does the Scout. Target lock for 2. 1 point of damage on Asajj. One hit, 1 evade. That's a bummer. Tom needed all of these, all 4 of them, to get Asajj off the table. 3 total. Nothing she can do about that.
Half of them.
Last shot, just 1. But he sneaks it through.
Sneaks through indeed.
It's kind of a bummer. Asajj getting away with 1 hit point. Tom really needed them all.
And if she wants to, she can absolutely run away from these Y-Wings.
Yeah, it's not... She's fast. In fact, the only thing keeping her from running away from these Y-Wings is the other 2 ships on her side in her way.
Yeah.
So... This is part of competitive X-Wing, right? Like I don't get to play much competitive X-Wing. I'm normally TOing or running X-Wing at the shop, so I don't get to get out much. But, playing friendly games against, typically Brian or Ben or whatever,
yep.
You get to this point in the game, usually there's a handshake. We know it's over, whatever. But that's not how competitive X-Wing works. You absolutely have to go in with a good mindset of, Tom's lost. At this point, it's pretty clear that Tom's lost.
Yes.
But you can't just give up. You have to keep fighting because it's not about winning or losing. It's about MOV.
Yep.
Well, it is definitely... if you get too many losses, you're done. That's just how the game works. But, if you're doing pretty well, and Tom must be doing pretty well if he's up against Corwin, and he's in 2 of our videos. Well, actually, the first video he just came up first. But... he's in the second video. That's because he's winning. This is our top table for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
So his MOV is gonna really matter, and he's got to try to squeeze every last drop of points he can out of Corwin's list, and it's gonna be an uphill battle, but he's got a good mindset for it, and that's what matters.
He's got a good mindset for it, and it is possible to bring Asajj off of the board with the TLTs if they can keep in range.
Yes, it's possible to do that, and it's fairly possible to maybe even get half points on the scout too. But beyond that, with Fenrau still on the table. Now, here, there's going to be a couple rounds where neither Asajj nor Fenrau are going to have shots. And it's just going to be the scout weaseling around with the Y-Wings. But, I mean, long term, like I said, Fenrau gets at range 1 on one of these guys. They're done. Or they're at least going to walk away extremely crippled from the event. Corwin's thinking about that. Yep, he's going to spend the target lock.
Yep. Pans out for him.
And that's 2. 1 more damage. Shields down on the first Y-Wing. Do we have range?
It does look like it.
Looks like we do. Might get Asajj off the table this round.
Although, focus of 8 on her.
Yeah. Looks like Tom's going to go for it. Ooh. Focus for 3. But, yep. But that's both her tokens gone. So, Tom might be able to pull this off. 1 so far. And 1 of 8. Bummer.
Being stuck through that rock really, really hurt.
Yeah. Second shot going into the scout. It looks like it is obstructed.
Mm-hmm.
Really debating over whether it's obstructed or not.
Yeah, with the laser, it does not matter which way.
Nope. 1, spends it. 2. That's 1 shield on the scout.
Mm-hmm. And 2 there as well.
Second shield on the scout. So 3 more points of damage, you get half points on the scout. 1 more point of damage, you get full points on Asajj. If Tom can pull both of that off, then, I mean, he's probably still not going to win this one.
No.
But he can walk away with this with a halfway decent MOV for a loss. Looks like that Y is going to barely go over that rock again.
Well, it's done it once, might as well do it again.
Yeah, consistency, right? Doesn't lose a shield.
Pretty good chance you'll have Asajj with the lead Y-Wing this round.
Yes. Oh. Going for a sloop. The white sloop.
Yep, still able to produce all those tokens.
Yep, even after turning around. 3 hard on Asajj. And yeah, looks like that Y-Wing's going to get a shot. The lead one. That's fast enough to keep the rear one from catching up, though. Where's Fenrau going?
Turning around, it looks like.
Nope.
No?
Oh.
I was going to say, I thought the dial looked red.
That looks like a Talon roll. Fancy. Don't see too many Talon rolls. It's one of my favorite maneuvers.
Well, looks like it'll allow him to take a pot shot at the Ys. Which might... Yeah.
Yep.
Looks like he's going to try and shoot everything he can at the lead one.
looks like in arc, it might just barely be range 3. And yeah, Tom's got 2 dice in his hands, so must be range 3.
Mm-hmm.
1 hit, 1 evade.
That lead Y-Wing, man.
Yeah, he's a superstar. Asajj range 3 at the Y-Wing for 2. 3 with the target lock.
That's pretty much it.
1 evade. So, shields down on both Y-Wings now. 10 more hit points left on Tom's team. Scout's going to go for the rear Y, range 2. I just realized, did Corwin forget to put down focus tokens for all the ships? It doesn't look like Asajj or Fenn have them.
Yes, it does look like he did.
I don't think it really would have mattered, but...
Not for combat.
He's usually just so meticulous with his token placement. Tom's thinking real hard about spending that first focus token. Not going to do it. So, nothing for the first TLT shot. Really needs this one to work. There we go, 3. Asajj Ventress is finally off the board. That's a good 40 points for Tom.
Yep.
If he can take this scout out, that'll get him up to 54.
Yeah, bring it down to half.
Looks like he's
contemplating TLTing Finn Rao.
Yeah? Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a bummer. He's got him in arc, but it is at range 3, so auto thrusters are, I mean, they're going to happen anyway.
Yep.
Kind of a bummer. But that's 3. Oh, he did have a focus. It was hiding behind the ship. And yeah, focus and auto thrusters will make that into 3. Tom's got nothing on the second batch of TLT shots, so that's that. So best move now is probably to separate the Y-Wings finally, so that Fenn Rau can't be at range 1 of both of them. 3 bank and a target lock on Fenn Rau. Now, he's going to have to go after Fenn Rau because that scout's way too far out there for the first Y-Wing to have a shot at it. But really, shooting at Fenn Rau with a TLT is a practically fruitless endeavor.
Very, very hard to do.
Especially since you'll probably have 2 focus tokens while you're doing it. I mean, you could spend 1 on offense and still have 1 for defense, and then... Yikes. Scout's taking its time coming up.
It doesn't need to take, it doesn't need to go fast.
I just realized that, so it looks like Corwin's major deviation from Paratani right now is he doesn't have an unhinged astromech on the contracted scout.
No, he has an intelligence agent.
So it only has 6 green maneuvers rather than 9. That's probably plenty. Yeah, that's definitely range 1 for Fenn. Thinking about it. Going for the target lock. Youch.
Yeah, that's typical Fenn Rau.
There's not much the Y-Wing can do about that.
He does try his best to evade.
But it's still 4, so 1, 2, 3. And yep, there's the last one. Crit doesn't matter. Y-Wing is super dead. That's what Fenn Rau does to a Y-Wing at range 1.
Yes.
That's just how it works.
Yep.
Scout shooting at the other Y-Wing. So, if Tom wants half points on that Scout, he's got to do 3 damage to it. It's going to be rough. Spends a focus, 2 hits. 2 evades. Tom should hang the Y-Wings up and fly interceptors. These green guys are doing, doing great. Nothing? Is he going for Fenn Rau on this?
Yes, he is.
Yikes, I don't know if I think I'd have stuck with the Scout. Well, it doesn't matter with rolls like that.
No. Well, that's a little bit better. And auto thruster still.
Yep. Fenrau could dodge TLT shots in his sleep. One bank. So Fenn's in kind of an awkward position right now. He can't really follow the Y-wing with that rock there.
No.
So it'll be interesting to see what Corwin does with it this round. One hard.
Set up for next round, although...
Yeah, although if Tom's smart, he'll probably try to go for a bump. Then again, I suppose if Corwin does it's a 2-talon roll.
Yes.
On the protector, isn't it?
Yep.
So he'd be hard-pressed to get a talon roll off and avoid a bump, I think. Is that range 2 just barely? Looks like it. Tom's only got 1 die in his hands. One more hull down on that thug. His days are numbered.
Mm-hmm.
Shooting back with the TLT.
Onto the scout.
Probably the smarter move. 2 hits, thinking about spending it. Doesn't.
All right.
1 shield. Outstanding. Good work, Tom.
And
there we go.
It's
definitely the right move. 3 hits. Nothing the scout can do about that. Shields down on the scout. Just 1 more points of damage. Points?
Point.
1 more point of damage. This is what happens when you try to record like an hour's worth of episode commentary between the last round and this one, all in one setting. I can't even... Am I even speaking English anymore? I don't even know.
Close enough.
Close enough. Good. Scouts turning hard in. Maybe trying to arrange so that rocks between the scout and the Y-wing for maximum defense.
Mm-hmm.
And there's the bump from Fenrau. So the Y-wing, a little bit of reprieve. He'll get to live through this round. And yeah, people often get confused about closest point to closest point. It doesn't mean, they assume that means corners. It doesn't mean corners. It doesn't mean the points of the base.
Nope.
Like, sometimes points are along the edge. Corwin knows that. Corwin knows everything. In fact, at some point I came back here, and he corrected me on a ruling. Yeah. First TLT shot, he'll spend it for 2. Nothing.
Yep.
There we go. Half points on the scout. And nothing on the second roll. But that's time. Game over. There's the handshake.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the end of the match.
Well, was a long, hard-fought win for Corwin to come out there, and not even complete. But
yeah, I think final points totals were Corwin 75 and 54 points for Tom.
Mm-hmm.
So he lost, but like I was talking about earlier, he didn't give up, and he made a decent amount of MOV from it. And more importantly, he really cost Corwin 25 MOV.
Yes.
From keeping that last Y-wing alive.
Yep, keeping both himself in the game.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Both pretty good players. Like I said, Tom seems like he's a lot of fun to play X-Wing with. I think Corwin would be less fun to play X-Wing with because he'd win all the time.
Yes, that does get...
But he's definitely a nice guy. I'll say that much about him. I mean, after the tournament was over, we, he hung around for a while and just BS'd.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really good guy.
Yep. That's for sure.
And really, his hit and run tactics at the beginning, he kind of gave him the scout for the first couple rounds, and then he yanked the scout way back, and I can't really tell if Tom sort of fell for it or not. I think if you, a lot of players, if they got 2 or 3 damage on the scout in that first round of combat, would be tempted to follow the scout on a deep dive right into, like, Asajj's broadside and the face of Fen Rao. And I think the only thing that really saved Tom from that in this one is that first round of combat, 0 damage was done.
Yeah. The only thing, I don't think he was planning on it, but Dengar, with the rock in front of him there, kind of was stuck flying down that gauntlet either way. And ended up there.
Early on, he could have taken a 1 hard to peel out the side, but he went straight for the bump. Dengar just was out of position and in trouble the entire time he was on the board.
Yeah.
Only got a couple of return fire shots, and Tom's red dice just weren't able to make any of them count.
No.
That's X-Wing.
Yep.
Anyway, this is round 3. Stay tuned for more X-Wing Store Championship videos from us at Tacoma Games. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Have fun.